That is a python bite right there. All right, hold on. Let me try that again. You ready?
Hey, wherever's like,
don't do this, but let me do this again.
Yeah.
Gila monster meetup gone wrong, the most deadly animal in the world, and what the heck is going on here? Brace yourselves, we are breaking down and reacting to the most painful bites from the YouTube channel Brave Wilderness. Here with me to go over these videos and clips is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Coyote Peterson. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I can't wait to take a look at some of these painful bites.
Let's dive right in.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the strike zone with the American alligator. You ready?
Oi.
So the purpose of this video was to show you why you would not want to get a baby alligator as a pet, because they grow into a 4-foot alligator very, very quickly.
Got it.
Oh yeah, he is into my arm, and he is holding on.
The handler that's holding onto the alligator, did they describe that it was trying to move?
No, the alligator actually stayed pretty calm through all of this. One of 3 ways this could go. The bite and shake was the first thing we wanted to eliminate, and then it was, is it going to bite and let go? Because this is not a feeding response, or is it going to lock in place? It locked in place.
Yep. All right, that feels like big needles going into my forearm, and I can see there that those teeth are deep down into my skin.
We don't see typically alligator bites in Southern California, maybe Florida, but any type of long, sharp tooth becomes a puncture wound. Say you get a slice of normal laceration, we clean it out with a lot of water. Puncture wounds, you can't, it's a hole. So you can't clean it out well.
I think to get him to let go, I'm gonna try to just pry his jaw down a little bit.
We treat every single puncture wound as the potential that it's going to get infected. So you do cover it with antibiotics, but even then when you do oral antibiotics, which we call PO antibiotics, they may not work, and then you might need to be admitted for IV antibiotics because it just doesn't get into the tissue well enough.
It's the underside that hurts the worst. She's biting out harder and harder.
Has nobody come up with a device that can be put in an alligator's mouth to then open it up if this were to occur?
Maybe like some sort of
just like a little
very dense inflatable bag that you could put behind the mouth. It could work, but what are the odds that either A, you have a reason to purchase that, or B, you're gonna have access to that?
Ooh, yeah.
2 big bacteria that alligators harbor is staph and strep. People say, oh, I got a staph infection, or strep related to, we always think about like strep throat.
Yeah, that's where I was like, strep throat.
But it's actually very common, like skin as well, bacteria. Also causes pneumonia.
You can see there's a big hole went into my arm at that spot.
If I visit an area that has a lot of alligators, I come like face to face. Do you have like any recommendations of like what to do?
That's a great question. I mean, environmental awareness is key no matter when you're in an environment that you're not familiar with. And if you see a body of water in Florida, you should assume that there is an alligator
right there.
This is the second Gila monster that we've encountered in the Sonoran Desert.
Look at that. Oh, bro. Gila monster, which is a rather cryptic species. People don't come across them often.
I've never seen it.
A famous saying that only an idiot gets bitten by a Gila monster. It's because the bite for Gila monster is more of a defense than it is to take down its prey. This was
got me
so scary.
Wow.
This is just like pure panic mode, and it was immediately searing. My thumb was in that lizard's mouth for probably less than a second, and the razor sharp nature of the teeth sliced through my finger in multiple places.
Let me keep them.
Oh, yeah, he got the whole top of my thumb. He already passed the GoPro, and he got the whole top of my thumb.
Were you in pain because of the laceration initially, and then because of the venom? Did the venom happen that fast?
It was venom. I knew it immediately.
Just stop him.
We immediately started making phone calls to reptile experts that we knew. Everybody's like, yeah, man, there's no anti-venom. It was a graze. Okay, there's a big difference between a graze and the lizard being locked on your hand and pumping venom, which can kill you.
I grabbed onto my finger the moment that I was bitten, and almost immediately the pain from the venom started surging through my hand.
Felt lucky to be bitten on this hand versus the side that my heart is on.
So the heart is in the middle of your chest.
Oh, it's not over here?
It is
so
bottom
where
part.
is my actual heart?
So it's pretty much right
about right
here.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
We monitored my body for hours at a time. We made sure that my heart rate was low. We monitored the swelling. We took photographs, as you'll see some of the photographs here, as the hours went by.
This is kind of a rare thing. If it would come to the emergency department, we're gonna make sure you're fine, but then we're gonna call an expert, call the tox control first. They'll try to get on the horn to anybody that's a reptilian lizard expert and be like, okay, this is what you can and can't do.
The pain was so excruciating, I really just had to go into a mental state where I told myself, you can make it through this pain. It was the worst pain I had ever experienced, the throbbing, the squirming of my body, and of course the constant fear that, is this only going to get worse?
Burning, ripping, pulsating, throbbing, tight. What would you describe it?
Hot lava coursing through your veins, which is exactly what you will read on the internet.
As the venom started traveling up my arm into my shoulder, I didn't know at what point it was going to stop, and that's when I really started to get nervous.
I can distinctly remember for almost 8 straight hours the pain as the venom was working its way up my arm.
It was breaking down all those structures within the tissue. Your fingers, the circulation isn't the best down there, so it does take a little while.
It was really mind over matter at that point. The fact that I didn't go into any sort of anaphylactic shock, I knew that I was gonna be okay.
The venom from the Gila monster has actually been used in medicine. One of the components, the zenidine, is basically a precursor to one of the medications that we use for diabetes.
Diabetics.
It was just a matter of toughing through the pain, which was, kind of like they explain, hot lava coursing through your veins.
In these situations, you don't want to run. Your sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response is going to kick in. Your blood pressure is going to go up, your heart rate is going to go up. You don't want to add to it by running and increasing that demand on your system. Coyote did the right thing in the sense of like, assess the situation, be like, okay, what do we do?
That is the invasive Burmese python there.
I mean, it is a beautiful snake. I like to look at them from a distance.
It's a hugely invasive problem in Florida, yeah.
Do people have them as pets?
Oh yes, and that's probably where some of the problem originated.
I'm gonna go right for his head.
So this was just an error, what you're gonna see here.
Oh, hey.
Grab just like
Too far back?
so. Anybody who's ever been bit by one will be like, yep, there's like about a centimeter's difference between where you get that snake and its ability to turn and get you versus not. Fortunately, we would consider this a small python.
Great, yeah, I'm okay. Man, those teeth are sharp. He moved forward just as I
Look at that, that's like a big chunk. Oh, it came out of the counter.
Yeah. Now imagine if it was a venomous snake. That is how quickly these sorts of things happen. Snakes are fast. When it comes to the pain, really not that bad.
I know you don't use it for this purpose, but your leather would have protected your major arteries of your wrist.
Yeah.
God forbid it was a little bit closer to the wrist.
Look at that. That is a python bite right there. All right, hold on. Let me try that again. You ready?
Hey, wherever's like,
Don't
take
do this,
two.
but let me do this again.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Look at
so
that
super
mouth.
close. We've had times where individuals like, I think I got bit by a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
And we're like, we don't have any evidence of it, and now we have to wait and watch.
I've never been bitten by a venomous snake accidentally or intentionally. Never would. You're talking about a medical emergency
Correct.
and a venomous snake as well.
We assume any bite that we see is a venomous bite until proven otherwise.
Exactly.
All right. Good thing I've got him the second time. Look at those razor sharp teeth. Man, that's what just went right into my hand.
Not every single hospital out there actually has anti-venom, even in the United States, but the hospitals that don't have it will know which hospitals they can send individuals to.
1,000 bloodthirsty mosquitoes.
I'm pretty sure they're all bloodthirsty, right?
No, they're not.
Oh!
Only the females. Considered the most deadly animal on the planet.
Because of what it potentially could do.
Yes, hundreds, thousands of people die every year
Right.
from mosquito-transmitted diseases.
Right.
Without further ado, it's time for Coyote Peterson to be eaten alive by mosquitoes.
For anybody wondering, could these mosquitoes be infected with diseases? These are lab-grown
Oh, good to know.
mosquitoes, so we knew they were free of disease.
I want to make sure. Oh, wow, look at that. They just went straight for my wrist. I definitely feel something going on
That's
right
a lot
now.
on my arm
That is
there.
a lot.
That's too much, man.
It takes like a second or two to realize that they're biting you and having a meal on you, right?
Yeah, they do have a slight numbing agent in their saliva.
Right.
Sometimes you feel the bite, sometimes you don't.
Oh, actually, the one right in the center of my hand, I can really feel.
All I know is that when I'm late to the party and I see one and I smash it and
Yeah.
my blood goes everywhere.
But is it your blood?
The itching is beginning to give its onset. And it's really the mosquitoes in between my fingers right now that are the most uncomfortable.
Could a mosquito bite an eyeball?
Yeah, totally.
Would you get a lump on your eye?
You potentially could. When we see swelling of the eye, it's actually something called chemosis.
Ooh, that sounds like a bad mixed drink.
Yeah, it does.
Itching, swelling, and an uncomfortable annoyance.
The level of agony is best described as the itch you can't scratch.
Mosquitoes are not venomous.
Right.
So why do those little bumps form on a human skin?
Inflammatory reaction of, I just got a foreign attack. Think about this, if you get a puncture wound, a cut, you still get the same kind of swelling
Right, because
reaction.
the proboscis is still
Right.
inserting itself into your
Right.
skin.
My arm has been out of the box of mosquitoes for about 10 minutes now, and you can clearly see that the welts are beginning to form.
Does blood type have an effect on mosquitoes? They've actually done research on this. In other words, do some blood types get bit more than others by mosquitoes? And the answer is yes, it's blood type O. And they actually shown there are certain blood types that would react a lot worse.
I have counted, as we were setting up for the cameras, nearly 250 bites.
My blood type is AB positive. Do you know what your blood type is?
I have no clue.
I call it the most selfish blood type because I am the universal acceptor. So I can take anybody's blood under the sun. I can only give it to AB positive.
Wow.
That's not to say that there aren't bites on top of bites. So I'm just gonna round up a little bit and say I got 300 bites in that matter of time.
What happens if you get a bunch of mosquito bites and then you have some sort of weird reaction after the fact?
Get to the hospital, get checked out, because there's different tests that we can do. Some of the viruses we can look for, other ones we may not be able to. And then even with malaria, it's actually done as a blood smear to look at your red blood cells. Thank you so much. Thank you for going through all of these bites with me, and that you did it in the name of science, and that you were not hurt and nobody else involved was hurt as well. Check out Coyote's YouTube channel, Brave Wilderness.
It is an endless rabbit hole of wild animal adventures, and occasionally me being bitten and stung by things for entertainment and education.
And as always, please make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching.
And stay healthy, my friends.